We're doing Canto 8, Withdrawal of the Cosmic Creations, Chapter 11, King Indra annihilates the demons. Text 1. Sri Shukavacha Ato Sura Pratyupalabdha Chetasa Parasya Pumsa Parayanukampaya Jagnu Vrisham Chakra Samira Nadaya Tam Sandraniyat Avisam Hatapura Sukadeva Goswami said, thereafter, by the supreme grace, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Hari, all the demigods headed by Indra and Vayu were brought back to life, were enlivened. The demigods began severely beating the very same demons who had defeated them before. That's like taking turns. Sometimes you watch the wrestling match, right? One party will win and then suddenly the other party will win. It seems like that. Text 2. Vairochanaya samrabdo Bhagavan Pathashasana Udayachadhyada Vajram Prajaha Heti Chakrusu. The most powerful Indra became angry and took his thunderbolt in hand to kill Maharaj Bali. The demons began lamenting, "Alas, alas!" They became frightened to see the thunderbolt. I think, it's the most powerful weapon within this universe now. The demigod's weapon. Text 3. Vajrapanistam ahedam Tiraskritya purasitam Manasvinam susampannam Vicharantam mahamride. Sober and tolerant and well equipped with paraphernalia for fighting, Bali Maharaj moved before Indra on the great battlefield. King Indra, who always carries the thunderbolt in his hand, rebuked Bali Maharaj as follows. Welcome, Tulsi Priya. Tulsi Priya. Original. Text 4. Natavan Mudha Mayavi Maheshano Jigishashi Babalani Badakshan Nato Harati Taddanam. Indra said, "O rascal, as a cheater sometimes binds the eyes of a child and takes away his possessions, you're trying to defeat us by displaying some mystic power. Although you know that we are the masters of all such mystic powers." It's part of the Kshatriya culture to speak harshly so that they get riled up, get angry. Then the fight is real. Text 5. Arurukshanti Mayavi Sisri Shanti Edivam Nandasyun Vidunomi Ajan Purvashmacha Padat Adaha. Those fools and rascals who want to ascend to the upper planetary system by mystic power or mechanical means, or who endeavor to cross even the upper planets and achieve the spiritual world or liberation, I cause to be sent to the lowest region of the universe. So there's also one pastime in the, I believe, Ramayana, when Vishwamitra tries to send this king Trishanku. So he was refused to in the same body he wanted to go to heavenly planet. So they said, no, no, you have to give up that body, and then you get a spiritual body. But he was so attached to his body, he, he got Vishwamitra to do the yagna to send him up. So he was going up. Then Indra all came and tried to stop him. So he's in the middle here. He stopped that. Then Brahma came and told him to stop this thing. Because Vishwamitra was so powerful. He was going to create a new constellation, new planetary system. So that's why when you look up, you see so many different constellations, not just one. Because all these powerful personalities, they can also create like that. So yeah, people want to go up to upper planetary system, you have to be in the mode of goodness. So Prabhupada says, Urdhvam Gacchanti Sattvastaha, from Bhagavad Gita. So if you are in the mode of goodness, if you do pious activity, you have people in general, you're very charitable, then you find that at the end of your life, you would have amassed enough piety to go to the upper planetary system. And conversely, those who are not so much in the mode of goodness, they are not allowed in the upper planetary. Generally, those who take birth in the Madhya Loka is in the mode of passion. And the others who are in ignorance will become animals, or they can go to lower planetary system. Okay? So Prabhupada writes here, the word Divam refers to the higher planetary system known as Svargaloka. Indra, king of the higher planetary system, has the power to push down any conditioned soul attempting to go from the lower to the higher planets without proper qualifications. Yes.
But proper mystics, they can go to the, like yogis, they can travel to the
Yeah.
They are doing enough of that.
Yeah. When you do all the austerity, you're actually in the mode of goodness. So you're qualified in that sense.
Like the Karma Kanda people also, if they keep doing enough of it.
They do enough rituals, they can go. Yeah. But here it's very clear that the authority also lies with Indra.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go through an interview, you get the job, but the CEO don't like this guy's look. He said, no, I don't want him. Then you get a rejection letter.
Visa.
Yeah? Also visa.
Even if you have a job, you cannot.
That's it.
Oh, it's like that.
That's
right?
a good example.
Yeah. So that's how it is. You may go through all the interviews and then you get the rejection letter. You're thinking, what happened? Because Indra didn't like you. The CEO is like Indra nowadays. So Prabhupada again gives comparison how modern scientists and people here are trying to go to the moon. And he says very clearly, it's an attempt by inferior men. Why are they inferior?
Mode of ignorance.
Okay, they don't do any kind of religious activities. They don't follow any dharma, artha, kama principles. So therefore, they don't even follow Vedic culture. So if you don't have all those supporting your resume, then you can't get into the Sarvaloka. So again, personalities who attempted people like Hiranyakashipu, Ravana. Ravana built a golden stairway to Sarvaloka, but kicked out. Stairway to heavens, he got kicked out. Okay, so Indra doesn't allow anyone by mechanical means. They must be qualified. So Prabhupada also wrote the book, Easy Journey to Other Planets. So he gives clues as how to go to other planets. One has to become qualified. Right? You can't just go to grade 7 or 8 if you like, right? You just can't walk into the school and say, today I want to go to grade 7. Tomorrow I'll go to grade 10. So it doesn't work like that. All right? So you need a lot of good qualities. Finally, Prabhupada says a sinful person situated in the mode of ignorance and addicted to drinking, meat eating, illicit sex will never enter the higher planets by mechanical means. So in light of this, Srila Prabhupada once told, and I have said this here also, that Hanuman Prasad Swami was mentioning that he heard Prabhupada say that most of his disciples who are not serious, right, they will only go to heavenly planets because they are following all these things. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication. But if they are not serious, obviously many of them are serious. Text 6. Soham durmayinastedya
Soham durmayinastedya
Vajrena shata parvana
Vajrena Shataparvana
Shiro harishye mandatman
Shiro Harishye Mandatman
Kathasva nyati saha.
Gatasvanyati Saha.
Today, with my thunderbolt, which has hundreds of sharp edges, I, the same powerful person, shall sever your head from your body. Although you can produce so much jugglery through illusion, you are endowed with a poor fund of knowledge. Now try to exist on this battlefield with your relatives and friends. Strong words. Text 7. Sri Balirvacha Sangrame Vartamananam
Sangrame Vartamananam
Kalachodita Karmana
Kalachodita Karmana
Iti Jayo Jayo Mrityu
Kirti Jayo Jayo Mrityu
Sarvesham Shur Anukrama
Sarvesham Shur Anukrama.
Bali Maharaj replied, all those present on this battlefield are certainly under the influence of eternal time. And according to their prescribed activities, they are destined to receive fame, victory, defeat, and death, one after another. So basically, it's based on one's karma. No, you're going to get what you're going to get. And you cannot change that. So that's what Bali Maharaj is saying. You can talk big, but let's see, talk is cheap, let's let's try to settle this score through a fight. So basically, the living entities are controlled by the modes of material nature. And so Prabhupada says, Prakriti Kriyamani Gune Karmani Sarva. Based on that, they act accordingly. Then he says, since everyone without exception, there's no exception, obviously exception to the rule is rare, and pure devotees are probably the exceptions to the rule. But in general, everyone without exception is subject to the modes of material nature. And you can see for ourselves, so we are practicing, still we find sometimes we are morose, sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are disturbed, sometimes we don't know what to do. So because we are still under the control of the material nature, we can understand we are not independent. We are dependent on mercy of Krishna, mercy of spiritual master, like that. So in that sense, Srila Prabhupada highlights that Bali Maharaj's statement is actually very concise and sensible. So he's saying this is correct. So Prabhupada says, Bali Maharaj therefore was very sensible. He knew that fighting was arranged by eternal time, providence, and that under time's influence one must accept the result of one's own activities. So it's like that principle we talked the other day, that are you able to accept what comes along your way? If it's not so good, are you willing to accept? So therefore, even though Indra threatened that he would kill Bali Maharaj was not at all afraid. He was willing to accept what the outcome is. So
he didn't get angry at all.
No, he didn't. But as Kshatriya, he's angry to fight, but he's not going to allow that kind of talk to disturb him. So again, it's for us also. We are always in our own battlefield with our mind and so on. So how do we see different things come in our life? How do we approach that?
So in this case, Bali Maharaj is talking of karma, but is he also kind of thinking of Lord's will when he says providence? Prabhupada says
one can say he understands the whole thing is under the providence. Yeah.
Which is Lord's will.
Yeah. You can say like that. So because you can see Prabhupada says Bali Maharaj asserted that he was not at all afraid of death. Who is not afraid of death? One who understands the concept or the philosophy of you're not the body and stuff like that.
Realizes. One who realizes.
Yeah, one who is realized will not be afraid of that. Next 8. Tadidam kala rashanam jagat pashyanti suraya
Jagat-pashyanti suraya
Rishanti na sochanti
Rajyanti na sochanti
Tatra yuyam apanditaha.
Tatrayam apanditaha
Very similar, right? This was to
Sochan.
Asochan and Asochan. Seeing the movements of time, those who are cognizant of the real truth neither rejoice nor lament for different circumstances. Therefore, because you are jubilant due to your victory, you should be considered not very learned. So he's speaking like a learned person, but you don't really understand. So you can see not only Bali Maharaj spoke to him like that, in the previous canto or previous Manu who said the same thing. Yeah, Vritas said the same thing, and still Indra hasn't got it now. Okay, so of course, in the purport, as Srila Prabhupada quotes the same verse, where he said, while speaking learned words, you're mourning for what is not worthy of grief. You're not learned in that sense. You're not a pandita. Nanusochanti pandita. You're not really pandit, or you can't claim to be one who understands these principles. So then Srila Prabhupada says, there is no question of being sorry or happy because of the waves of material nature. After all, since we are being carried away by the waves, what is the meaning of being jubilant or morose? Things just come and go. So an intelligent person should be able to understand this is the influence of our material nature and our karma. Yeah. So therefore, one who understands this will not be jubilant or morose. So that's what we should understand. So then again, Prabhupada says, Krishna advises that one be tolerant, right? Tam sitik shashva bharata. Where is that? Any situation, right? Could be winter or summer season, good opportunity, bad opportunities, one shouldn't be disturbed. Or you get a promotion, or you don't get a promotion, you should not be disturbed. It's a test, isn't it? How are you going to face that? Are you going to think, I deserve it, and this idiot didn't give me like that? Or are you going to think, maybe Krishna is telling me something?
It's very challenging.
It is challenging, but that's what devotees are supposed to practice.
How do you avoid getting the comparison more?
Yeah, because of association. But if you know you're thinking like that, and if you're constantly associating with Srila Prabhupada and chanting nicely, it will come in your intelligence. Krishna in the heart will tell you, why are you comparing? Why are you thinking like that? So at that moment, you should think, yes, Krishna, you're right.
In my team, I have some people,
Mm.
this is Americans actually.
Yeah.
So these people, 1 year, although they got good rewards, they came and told that I don't deserve it.
Wow.
Yeah, so
What do you do?
yeah, so we have those kind of people also.
Very rare.
Huh?
Very rare.
Very rare.
Yeah.
So
What is it?
Well, there are people, I have people also who basically,
Feel they
because they
don't.
don't want to go up and get more responsibilities. They like where they
That's
are.
also there.
That is maybe true.
that is also.
Because they have
In
a,
this case,
It wasn't like that.
it wasn't like that. They told, okay, I actually thought about what all I did for the 1 year, and I don't think I deserve this. So
Yeah, that's very rare.
There are people like my boss also, right? He said
That's very rare.
when he got his annual bonus, he had option to select stocks versus options. He
Yeah.
said if I select, the stocks, then if I select options, it would be better for the company. He says, so I want to do something that's good for the company, not good for me. So people think like that.
Yeah, but he has a reason. But these ones didn't have a reason. They just didn't want the the money. Anyway, it's very rare. We seldom see such attitude, but maybe good culture.
But it's also satisfaction. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're not satisfied, then we'll be looking here or there
Yes,
externally to find that satisfaction.
Right. So they must be satisfied. So yeah, as to your point, yes, make sure you have good association and good chanting, sadhana practices. Then you'll always practice thinking that whatever I'm doing, whatever I get, every day it has to be a daily practice that it is due to the blessings of my guru and Krishna. Then when you get something, even though you'll feel wow, they are recognizing me, then immediately you'll kick in and say no, it's because of my Guru Maharaj and Krishna's blessing. Then that way you're pushing away those kind of feelings. And then even when you then later on it'll be just automatic. Every time something happens nice, you thank the Lord or your spiritual master. Anything bad happens, you'll say, yeah, I probably deserve it. Yeah. It's a challenge, but then comes about through practice. Krishna tells Arjuna says how to control the mind. What does Krishna says? Through regulation and practice. So it's like that. So what is Prabhupada's point? Few things he says, a symptom of a devotee. These are the symptoms that they're never morose or unhappy. Okay, they're satisfied. And he says they carry out their duties in Krishna consciousness in whatever circumstances. So again, what are your duties? Your duties are what your spiritual master told you to do. So you have to recollect and reflect on what you're doing. Whether you balanced it or you pushed it aside as second rung responsibilities. Are they priority or you don't prioritize them? Okay. So thinking about that, then your faith will increase. And if you have good faith, then definitely Krishna will protect you. He is Sattvatam Pati. He will protect you. Like that. Therefore, a devotee never deviates from his prescribed duty of devotional service. Then it makes sense, yes, why I'm doing it. I will never deviate. Otherwise, even though your guru has given you your duties, still we find reasons not to do. It's so easy not to do because we can say, I have this issue, that problem. But actually saying all that means the reality is I'm not willing to follow your instruction at this moment. So it is something each individually you all have to think about because then it's called self-realization. The material qualities of jubilation and moroseness are present even in the demigods. So because they are also still in the material world, who are very highly situated in the upper planetary system. Prabhupada says they are thousands and thousands of times superior to us. But still they go through the jubilation and moroseness. They all have their own set of problems. So if you can practice nicely, obviously we try, you can come to the Brahma Bhuta platform. That means you don't get the material nature disturbing you anymore. You are focused, you are fixed. You are in the Sattva Guna. Yeah.
But disturbance means like let's say there's an earthquake tomorrow here, like we just mentally not disturbed or like we recover from the disturbance fast. Like what does disturbance mean?
That means you do not know that you are not the body. Okay, when you get an earthquake, you do the needful. Pack and run out or run out, don't even worry about that.
Right.
Yeah. Do the needful. Yeah. But otherwise, disturbances, it removes you away from focusing on Krishna. That is a disturbance. So there may be so many things that will affect you in life. Ultimately, you have to see, for example, in the pastime where Mahaprabhu is in Shiva's Anga, right? Chanting, dancing, and then suddenly Shiva's, his wife's all crying, grandmother. So he goes inside the kitchen, then he says the son has died, So then he says, just shut up, don't cry. So why? Because Mahaprabhu, we don't want to disturb. Then Mahaprabhu says, I don't feel good, something is wrong. Yeah. Then he says, bring the boy. Then he touches him, and the boy, floats in the air and says, "Yes, I'm here." He says, "Who are you?" I don't know who I am. I have so many. He says, "Your parents are crying." I say, "No, which parent are you?" I have had so many parents.
So perhaps the same story.
Huh? Yeah.
That's a
Yes,
super-
yes. So similarly, you have to become situated properly. That's the whole idea. Brahma Bhuta Prasanna, not disturbed anymore. Understanding, yes, these are part of the existence. I'm going to have my due sufferings anyway. The question is how you're going to face it. Are you going to cry and make a big deal out of it? Or are you going to be just, okay, let it be so. Of course, sometimes people say if you don't react to it, then you're a walkover, people can walk over you, you're a pacifist, and all nonsense term they use.
Also, does it mean like there may be a momentary, reaction?
Yeah,
or,
sure.
that, but then we don't carry it forward.
Yeah, don't
We
lament
leave it behind.
continuously. You can cry for the ones you miss, but then don't take it for the rest of your life.
Right.
Yeah, I guess. Right. So then Prabhupada makes a very clear point, and you can always use these statements to see where you are at also. But that's why his purports are very good. When one is undisturbed by material circumstances, you should be understood to be on the transcendental stage, above the reactions of the three modes of material nature.
Just a difference of disturbance. I once heard that actually everyone has speed bumps, which are disturbances implied.
Yes,
But for devotees, what bumps are very small bumps. So that's the difference.
could
We
be.
don't have big speed
It
bumps.
shouldn't be big.
But, yeah, but we have small.
You have bumps, yeah, sure, but you don't feel the bump.
Yeah.
You have good cushions
Yeah.
and suspension. So you do go through bumps, but then you don't react to the bumps. Just like people drive cars, speaking about driving, right? Then if somebody bumps you a little bit, you stop and come out and throw a blink. That means you are attached to that situation. But if somebody bumps you, I remember many years ago I was driving and somebody hit me. So, but then the cars weren't moving, but the guy bumped. I didn't bother. But the person behind felt very bad. They came around. And said, I said, it's okay. Yeah. And they were worried. Was it, Actually, their car got more damaged. It's one of those situations. I didn't care. Like that. So yeah, you don't get disturbed. Text 9. Navayam manyamananam atmanam tatra sadhanam Virova sadhu sochyanam Vinimo marmathadanah. You demigods think that your own lives are the cause of your attaining fame and victory. Because of your ignorance, saintly persons feel sorry for you. Therefore, although your words afflict the heart, we do not accept them. That's a very, 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 very nice point he's saying. We also think like that we are the cause of our fame and our success, right? Do we give that fame and success to our predecessors, or do we give it to our spiritual master, to Krishna? So these are some of the things for us to think about. It's very good to think like that. Am I correct in saying I did it my way and I'm successful, or is it due to some unforeseen circumstances? If you are atheist, then you say I became successful by chance, right? Why then you say you are the one who made it happen? Then he says, out of ignorance, and then the saintly people feel sorry. We are in ignorance, so they are feeling sorry. So you can see, recollect how Srila Prabhupada feels towards us. He feels very sorry that we are going through difficulties. Or even you can see your spiritual masters, why they sometimes write to you and say, how is your Krishna consciousness going? Are you chanting? What are you doing? What are you going to do about your life like that? Because they feel sorry. Sometimes you can, there's a saying in Texas, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. So in the same way, you can be guided, but you have to take the thing upon yourself. No one can actually take you to the spiritual world unless you want to go. You must want to go, right? Okay. So he says, so if you're going to just talk harshly, he says, I'm not worried. So he says, we do not accept that.
Perfectly self-realized.
Yeah. So you can see he's pretty advanced.
Eighth canto.
Text 10. Sri Shukavacha Akshipya Vibhum Viro Naracha Vira Mardana Karnapunair Ahanat Akshipair Ahatam Punaha. Sukadeva Goswami said, after thus rebuking Indra, king of heaven, with sharp words, Bali Maharaj, who could subdue any other hero, drew back to his ear the arrows known as Narachas and attacked Indra with these arrows. Then he again chastised Indra with strong words. This is the Kshatriya culture. Hit the guy and then talk some more.
I'm not done yet.
Yeah, I'm not done yet. Evam nirakrito devo Vaidina tatyavadina Namrishyatat adikshepam Putrahata iva dvipaha. Since Maharaj Bali's rebukes were truthful, why is this truthful?
Because they're in line with scripture.
He is realized. Yeah, he's realized. King Indra did not at all become sorry. Why is that?
Because he understands.
Because
He understands.
He knows the knowledge.
Yeah.
He knows the knowledge.
He knows the knowledge, but
Not realized.
not realized. Yeah. Just as an elephant bitten by its driver's rod does not become vegetarian. So it knows, yeah, the guy wants me to go.
He understands Bali is, more
Yeah.
spiritually advanced.
He's advanced than he is. Yeah. Text 12. Praharat kulisham tasma amokam paramardana sayano nyapatat bhumau chinna paksha ivachalaha. When Indra, the defeater of enemies, released his infallible thunderbolt scepter at Bali Maharaj, with a desire to kill him, Bali Maharaj indeed fell to the ground with his airplane, like a mountain with its wings cut off. So powerful is this weapon that Bali Maharaj could not handle it. He fell down. It appears that he was really injured, almost dead, I think. So then in the Prabhupada talks about how this mountain with wings, one time they were causing havoc in the world, Indra went after them and cut the wings. So when the wings are gone, the mountain just fell down. Boom.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Like even being a neophyte devotees, with little bit of knowledge what we have, when someone realized chastises us, we become humble and we accept it, and then we don't retaliate. At least, right? I mean,
That is ideally what we
Ideal
should be doing.
situation.
matlab, even as a neophyte devotees,
Yeah.
we have that kind of human sense. But I'm just surprised here. In the previous verse, Indra is not feeling sorry, which means he's aware of the knowledge. But in the
he
next
is
verse,
not.
it is saying that he is trying to kill, attack Bali
Because
Maharaj.
it's a
It's a
war.
fight. I mean,
It's a war between the Kshatriyas. They talk sometimes like that. So they don't let emotions come into that. Remember when Arjuna was feeling sorry and so on? Then what did Krishna say? You, what's wrong with you? He said the same thing. While speaking learned words, you don't understand.
also,
You're missing out on your duty. So part of the thing Indra had to do was also protect his demigod thing
Okay.
also. So he had to fight also.
Duty.
Yeah. It's his duty. Yeah. But at the same time, Sukadeva Goswami is giving us understanding that actually Indra did not even realize what he's speaking. So that's something we should think about.
it's not easy.
Right. It's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy. Text 13. Sakhayam patitam dritva Jambo bali shakha
Jambore Chakrasure.
Abhyaya Sauridam Shakyur.
Abhyaya Sauridam Sakyur.
Tasyapi Samacharan.
Tasyapi Samacharam.
The demon Jambasura saw that his friend Bali had fallen. He appeared before Indra, the enemy, just to serve Bali Maharaj with friendly behavior. So just because they are demons doesn't mean they don't have friends also. But they may fight among themselves. When Mohini Murti came, they fought among themselves. That's 14. Sa Singhavaha Asadya
Sasimhasadya.
Gadam Udyamya Ranghasa
Ramasa.
Jatravadaya Chakram
Jatravadaya Chakram.
Gajam Cha Sumahabalaha.
Gajam Cha Sumahabala.
Greatly powerful Jambasura, carried by a lion, approached Indra and forcefully struck him on the shoulder with his club. He also struck Indra's elephant. Text 15, very powerful personalities. You don't find them nowadays. If they are around nowadays, the world is gone. In Kali Yuga, that's why they all been killed or destroyed before the Kali Yuga.
Beginning.
Yeah. Text 15. Gada prahara vyatito.
Gada prahara vyatito.
Visham vivalito gaja.
Visham vivalito gaja.
Danubhyam daranim spritsva.
Janubhyam daranim spritsva.
Kashmalam paramam yayo.
Kashmalam paramam yayo.
Being bitten by Jambasura's club, Indra's elephant was confused and aggrieved. Thus it touched his knees to the ground and fell unconscious. So it's so powerful, this elephant. Still, this Jambasura was strong, that he killed. The elephant actually collapsed. So these personalities are, we can't imagine how amazing these personalities are. Even though they are demons, they are amazing personalities. Text 16. Tato rato mata lina.
Tato rato mata lina.
Haribe dasha shater vrtaha.
Haribe dasha shater vrtaha.
Anito dvipam utsrijya.
Anito dvipam utsrijya.
Ratam marurue vibhu.
Ratam marurue vibhu.
Thereafter, Mandali, Indra's chariot driver, brought Indra's chariot, which was drawn by 1,000 horses. Indra then left his elephant and got onto the chariot. 1,000 horses. That means if it's yoked 2 at a time, that's 500 on both sides. If it's 4, then it's like 250 on this. It's still a lot, even though you think about it.
Oh, the chariot itself must be.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge chariot, but because he has all his paraphernals in the chariot to fight.
And he has to control 1,000.
Yeah, well,
Chariot driver.
Matali can do.
Masala is
Text 17. Tasya tat pujayam karma.
Tasya tat pujayam karma.
Yantur danava sattamaha.
Yantur danava sattamaha.
Shulena jwalata tamtu.
Shulena jwalata tamtu.
Smayamano hanan vride.
Smayamano hanan vride.
Appreciating Matali's service, Jambasura, the best of the demons, smiled. Nonetheless, he struck Matali in the battle with a trident of blazing fire. So he recognized, and then because they are all warriors, Kshatriya also, he will kill the charioteer also. Text 18. Seherujam sudurmarsham.
Seherujam sudurmarsham.
Sattvam alambya matalihi.
Sattvam alambya matalihi.
Indro jambasya sankruddho.
Indro jambasya sankruddho.
Vajrena paharachira.
Vajrena paharachira.
Although the pain was extremely severe, Matali tolerated it with great patience. Indra, however, became extremely angry at Jambasura. He struck Jambasura with his thunderbolt and thus severed his head from his body. That's why you don't get the Kshatriyas very angry, because they can do amazing things. If you read the Mahabharata, you can see how powerful these personalities are. Even Ramayana. But at the same time, it's too much, the way they kill, and it's like just too much. Text 19. Jambam Srutva Hatam Tasya
Jambam Srutva Hatam Tasya
Nyatayo Naradadrishe
Yatayo Naradadrishe
Namuchischa Balapakas
Namuchischa Balapakas
Tatrapetustvaraన్వితः.
Tatrapetu Swaranaha.
When Narada Rishi informed Jambasura's friends and relatives that Jambasura had been killed, the three demons named Namuchi, Bala, and Paka arrived on the battlefield in great haste. So it looks like Narada is instigating more demons to die. Text 20. Vachobi Parushair Indram
Vachobi Parushair Indram
Ardayantosya Marmasu
Ardayantosya Marmasu
Shared Avakiran Mega
Shared Avakiran Mega
Darabir Iva Parvatam
Darabir Iva Parvatam.
Rebuking Indra with harsh, cruel words that were piercing to the heart, these demons showered him with arrows just as torrents of rain wash a great mountain. Text 21. Harindasha Shatani Ajau
Harindasha Shatani Ajau
Aryashvasya Balasarai
Aryashvasya Balasarai
Tavadbir Ardayam Asa
Tavadbir Ardayam Asa
Yugapal Lagu Hastavan.
Yugapal Lagu Hastavan.
Quickly handling the situation on the battlefield, the demon Bala put all of Indra's 1,000 horses into tribulation by simultaneously piercing them all with an equal number of arrows. So these are very, very, like they say, Maharathis, they have that quality. They can shoot so many arrows at the same time. They can move almost at the speed of the mind. They have yogic powers, so they can both hands they can do and arrows they can take very fast, and they also have mantras they can chant, so one arrow can become 100 or 1,000 also like that. So these are very qualified personalities also in terms of the warfare when we see it. But still these are asuras, demons. Text 22. Shatabhyam matalimpako
Shatabhyam matalimpako
Radam savayavam prita
Radam savayavam prita
Sakrit sandana mokshena
Sakrit sandana mokshena
Tad adbhutam abhudrane.
Tad adbhutam abhudrane.
Aka, another demon, attacked both the chariot with all its paraphernalia and the chariot driver Matali. By fitting 200 arrows to his bow and releasing them all simultaneously, this was indeed a wonderful act on the battlefield. So we can't conceive how he can hold 200 arrows. Right? What kind of arrows were they? So people will calculate and say, no, it's not possible. 200 arrows, how is he going to hold? That's how they will think. But these are all on a celestial level. The way they fight with mantras and so on, they can do all these things. It's not that it's not. This is why oftentimes the people who don't understand our philosophy and so on, they'll say this is mythology.
Because they look from their capacity.
Exactly. You judge everything from my senses, no? So I can't do it. Why can he do it?
Frog.
Yeah, frogs and scientists. So we have to
a lot of faith to
yes.
just like say, okay, this is
So that is why association is important. Our faith actually develops through the common association of devotees. And even to become pure devotee, you have to have good associations. On your own, no man is an island. So that's why it's important. Then when you associate with devotees, you appreciate what they speak and it touches your heart, and then your heart opens up to accept. Then you won't become a doubting soul. Nayam lokastina parona sukham samsayatmana. So you will never doubt the statements of scripture. It's important, otherwise we cannot make progress. So bear that in mind. No? Even sometimes it's like, wait a minute, maybe it's a parable. It's not even a parable sometimes. When it's a parable, Narada Muni, he will say, this is a parable, and I'm telling you a story or something. No, it's a facts. Text 23. Namuchi pancha dashabihi
Namuchi Panchadashabihi
Swarna punkair maheshubihi
Swarna Punkhe Maheshubhihi
Ahatya vyanada samkye
Ahatya Vinanasankye
Satoya evato yadaha.
Satoya Divato Yanaha.
Then Namuchi, another demon, attacked Indra and injured him with 15 very powerful golden feathered arrows which roared like a cloud full of water. Just imagine the sound itself. Really scary, right? And then Indra's body is also amazing. He can tolerate 15 arrows. So, like Bhishma Dev, right? Hundreds of arrows and still he didn't die. So these are exceptional personalities who in a different age have exceptional body also. The nutrition there also is different. The herbs, the vegetables you eat, you really get better. Here you eat, you can get sick. So you have to be careful.
You live much longer.
And you live
With
longer.
thousands
Yeah.
of years.
In those days, the food was rasayana. These days is poison. They put DTD or whatever, they put toxic, right? And then you have to wash, make sure there's no more chemical. What is it? Glyphosate, right? That Roundup. So it is supposed to cause cancer, but all the farmers use all over the world. So what to do, right? You have to buy the food, and then the best thing Prabhupada says is offer to Krishna. Sincerely tell him, please protect us. We have no choice. We are very fallen. 24. Sarvata Sharakutena
Sarvata
Shakram Sarata Saratim
Shakram Sarata Saratim
Chadayama Surasuraha
Chadayama Surasuraha
Pravrit Suryam Ivam Buddha.
Bhavisuryam Vihamudha.
Other demons covered Indra along with his chariot and chariot driver with incessant showers of arrows, just as clouds cover the sun in the rainy season. If we get one pin or needle stuck in our body, we will jump up and down. These guys, look at how many they tolerate. These are real Kshatriyas. I think in one part of, I think Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says how in Jaipur, in those days, not anymore, the prince or they were trained, the Kshatriya, they go and fight one-to-one with tigers. Hand battle. And if they kill the tiger will be put on a sacrificial higher planet. Like that.
Still there. I saw in the museum.
Yeah, you can see. And then who was telling me? One Maharaj said he went to see, and he was amazed because the
Armor is huge.
armor is so huge, and I was thinking what kind of person these people were.
They had to be like 8 to 10 feet tall.
Yeah, in the previous yugas about 8 foot.
Yeah.
And then in Satya Yuga, I was told by one devotee, was 14 foot tall. Yeah.
So in Hyderabad, I saw Prabhuji.
Salajan Museum has.
Huge. Actually, the swords, if you see.
Yeah, you can't carry
You
it.
can't carry the sword also.
I'm sure you're not allowed to carry.
They're huge.
But they fought with it, right?
Yeah, they fought with it.
Just like 500 years back.
So they have their dresses also. The dress itself is this tall. You have to see like this.
Same
Yeah,
thing,
this
Jaipur.
are Kshatriyas. Huge.
Jaipur also.
Now most of the Kshatriyas are NBA players or something like that. Or something like that.
Wrestling.
Yeah. Text 25. Lakshayantastam ativa vivala
Lakshayantastam vivala
Vichukrushu devagana sahanuga
Vichukrushdeva Gana Sahanuga
Anayaka shatru balena nijita
Anayaka Sattvalena Nirjita
Vanikpata binna navo yatarnave
Vanipata Vinnavo Yatarnave.
Demigods been severely oppressed by their enemies and been unable to see Indra on the battlefield were very anxious. Having no captain or leader, they began lamenting like traders in a wrecked vessel in the midst of the ocean. It's interesting. So Prabhupada gives in this purport. It's very interesting. He says, from this statement, it appears that in the upper planetary system, there's shipping and that traders there engage in navigation as their occupational duty. Even in celestial planets. So we think only here, even in the celestial, they have ship lines, they trade something. Sometimes, as on this planet, these traders are shipwrecked in the middle of the ocean. It appears that even in the upper planetary system, such calamities occasionally take place. The upper planetary system in the creation of the Lord is certainly not vacant or devoid of living entities. So now Prabhupada is getting to the crux of why he's talking about this. From Srimad Bhagavatam, we understand that every planet is full of living entities, just as Earth is. There's no reason to accept that on other planetary systems there are no living beings. In the previous chapters, Prabhupada said the scientists think there's only deserts. So that's not really true. Here you can read, there are personalities. They have different subtle bodies, so you cannot see them. Unless they bless you, you cannot see them. You have to understand, right? Earth, water, fire, air. All right? Even fire you can only see in certain places. Air practically you can't see unless the wind blows. Then
You can only feel
then you feel it only. That's about it. Then beyond that is ether. Right? That's like space already. And then beyond that, mind and intelligence. So these are the categories. You can have body made of this or combinations of this. So demigods have these combinations. So their body is more and more subtle, more refined, more perfect. Not completely, but more so. As you go up, the sattva increases your body shape. So like Brahma, he's made of mental energy. We cannot even understand what does that mean. His body is purely mental energy. That's why he's so powerful that he's the most intelligent living entity in this universe. And that's why he can do the sub-creation under the empowerment of the Lord.
But do they still have the same form?
Yeah, yes.
They have a
Forms are described, Yeah. Except for ghosts, everyone has forms.
They interact, they interact with the sense objects directly without the biological covering. That means they don't need earth to perceive smell. They can directly perceive smell without the covering of the earth.
It is the earth, but it's less.
Less, yeah. So they directly the smell without having the crosser.
Everything
form,
is less. The other elements are more. The earth elements are less. So, you try to figure out, don't worry about it. You don't even want to go there. So if you're going to Vaikuntha, many years ago one devotee was saying that they will take you through all these planetary systems.
Yeah.
And to a line, and you see, and if you can attract that, they will put you there and go. Yeah, so it's still the test is there. So you just close your eyes and go. Or be like Dhruva Maharaj, just step over and go. Don't.
It's not easy unless we bypass that in Earth itself.
Yeah, that's true. But
Difficult
still,
even to go.
The whole idea is you have to develop strong faith in your spiritual master and the devotional practices. That if you can do 75% nicely, you will be able to practice nicely. Yeah, because the anarthas won't disturb you so much. Mostly we don't practice properly, so the anarthas are too strong. But if you practice properly and control at least 75%, then you can. They won't disturb you so much. Then you can.
But Prabhupada says even if you have a desire to eat rasgulla, you have to come back. You
Yeah,
have to be so perfect.
Yeah, but it's not so bad.
On the contrary, we also hear if you just please your spiritual master, he'll take care of
Yes.
your life. So how does you balance what exactly?
The spiritual master will forgive you for your transgressions of thinking about a rasgulla. Yeah, it's like if you have a recommendation, like the CEO didn't look at you and say I don't like you, but then his second in charge say no, this guy is good. I know, I interviewed him. He said okay. Yeah. So Krishna is like that. When we all need that. Otherwise we can't go back. None of us can go back.
But the law of last minute, where if you think of Krishna, then also the test is still there.
Prabhupada said if you are very sincere and so on, your spiritual master will come personally, chant to you, or Mahaprabhu himself will come personally and chant and take you back. Yeah, if you are very sincere. Sometimes due to our past karma, we may be sincere, but we cannot
Remember.
do certain things and it will be forced. But the Lord recognizes, He is also a person and He is not that harsh. So He will say, okay, if you recommend, I'll take. Obviously, we do not know whether we need to go a secondary purification, which is true. You have to go to another universe where Krishna has his pastime, then you go through the final purification, then you go back. But why not, right? Why not? What is the alternative? Microsoft, Amazon. Right? What is the alternative? Text 26. Tatasturasad Ishubadda Panjara Vinirgata Shashvarata Dvajagrani Vaudishakam Prithivim Charochayan Swatejasa Surya Iva Shapatyaye Thereafter, Indra released himself from the cage of the network of arrows, appearing with his chariot, flag, horses, and chariot driver, and thus pleasing the earth, pleasing the sky, the earth, and all directions. He shone effulgently like the sun at the end of night. Indra was bright and beautiful in the vision of everyone. It's so dramatic, huh? It's a beautiful sky.
Like a hero.
He's a hero. He is a hero. Indra is a hero. He's an amazing person also. But you can also see how when he comes, everyone feel that their life is now back. Yes, our best fighter is back. Right? So it's amazing. Text 27. They can make a movie, this.
Yeah. Fights.
Text 27. Nirikshya Pritanam Deva Harer Abhyaditam Rane Yacha Ripum Hantum Vajram Vajradaro Rusha. And Indra, who is known as Vajradhara, the carrier of the thunderbolt, saw his own soldiers so oppressed by the enemies on the battlefield. He became very angry. Thus he took up his thunderbolt to kill the enemies. You have to be angry to kill. You cannot be happy to kill. Then you are something psychologically wrong.
That happens only in the movies.
Yeah. If you are happy in killing, you have psychological problem. You need to go and see a shrink or something. Text 28. Or kept in a prison. Text 28. Satena vastadarena Shirasi balapakayo Jnatinam Pasyatam Rajan Jahara Janayan Bayam. King Parikshit. King Indra used his thunderbolt to cut off the heads of both Bala and Paka in the presence of all their relatives and followers. In this way, he created a very fearful atmosphere on the battlefield. So it is, we can't really imagine, but it is so gory, the whole battle, So you can imagine he's cutting the heads off, heads are falling, arms are falling. It is really horrible scene, So he's creating this fearful atmosphere. It's not like, it's not like when you play the games, doing all these things. Then you chop people, blow people, it's nothing. But this is real life, blood is spilling.
Psychological war.
Yeah, it is. You will be disturbed, It's really terrible, actually. War is a very sad thing, Text 29. Namuchistattvadam dhritva
Namuchistattvadam drishva
shokamarsharushanvitaha
Shokamarshārushanvitaha
Jigam surindram nirpate
Jigam surindram nirpate
Chakara paramodhyamam
Chakara paramodhyamam.
O king, when Namuchi, another demon, saw the killing of both Bala and Paka, he was full of grief and lamentation. Thus he angrily made a great attempt to kill Indra. I saw a documentary. They were interviewing this World War II soldiers, heroes. Really. But when they interviewed these guys, they were so humble. It was just amazing. They wouldn't say much, and they will glorify all the others and so on. And at the end, the documentary, they will say about this guy that they never want to take a big role in society. They just minded their own business, worked in a company or something. So it's so contrasting. They went through so much, but they kept it in their heart, and they never spoke about the war at all to even their family members and so on. So it is really hurtful. So when we read this, we should also feel sorry or some form of compassion also. But when the Lord comes, we should feel happy that the Lord is helping liberate these people. But otherwise, normal war, you read in the papers, you should feel sad for all these people. Really bad. So anyway, you can see even in the war, this personality, Namuchi, is feeling a lot of grief and lamentation. Because he can't control. You cannot control. So life you cannot control. Things will happen and you will be forced to watch. And sometimes you cannot stop bad things happening. That is why practice nicely to be able to tolerate at least difficulties in life. We must do that. Otherwise, you will go through so much cycles again and again. Next study. Asmasaramamayan shulam
Asmasaramamayan shulam
Gantavadyema bhushanam
Gantavadyema bhushanam
Prakriyavyadravat kruddo Atositi pitarjayan
Atositi pitarjayan
Rahino devarajaya Ninadan mirgaradiva Being angry and roaring like a lion, the demon Namuchi took up a steel spear, which was bound with bells and decorated with ornaments of gold. He loudly cried, "Now you are killed!" Thus, coming before Indra to kill him, Namuchi released his weapon. Very high, running. Just imagine. Text 31. Tada patadgaganatale mahajavam Vichichide hare ishubi sahasrada Tamahanam nirpa kuleshena kandare Shanvita dashapati shiroharan O king, when Indra, king of heaven, saw this very powerful spear falling toward the ground like a blazing meteor, he immediately cut it to pieces with his arrows. Then, being very angry, he struck Namuchi's shoulder with his thunderbolt to cut off Namuchi's head. Text 32. Natasya hi tvacham api vajra urjito Vipedaya sura patino jasiritaha Adbhutam param ativirya virtrabid Tiraskrito namuchishiro dharatvacha. Although King Indra hurled his thunderbolt at Namuchi with great force, it could not even pierce his skin. It is very wonderful that the famed thunderbolt that had pierced the body of Vritrasura could not even slightly injure the skin of Namuchi's neck. So he must be some powerful boon. Text 33. Tasmadindro vibechatro
Tasmadindro vibechatro
Vajra pratihato yataha
Vajra pratihato yataha
Kimmidam daiva yogena
Kimmidam daiva yogena
Bhutam loka vimohanam
Bhutam loka vimohanam.
When Indra saw the thunderbolt return from the enemy, he was very much afraid. He began to wonder whether this had happened because of some miraculous superior power. So it's good to think before you continue fighting, not go in blindly sometime. So he is afraid now, thinking how, because that is the most powerful weapon among the demigods. So he's thinking, how is that possible? Text 34. Yena me purvam adrinam
Yena me purvam adrinam
Akshacheda prajataye
Akshacheda prajataye
Krito nivishatam bharai
Krito nivishatam bharai
Pattatrai patatam bhuvi
Pattatrai patatam bhuvi.
Indra thought, formerly when many mountains flying in the sky with wings would fall to the ground and kill people, I cut their wings with this same thunderbolt. Tapasaramayam twastram
Tapasaramayam tvastram
Pritro yena vibhatitaha
Vrito yena vibhatitaha
Anya chapi balopetaha
Anya chapi balopetaha
Sarvastraya akshatha tachaha
Sarvasraya akshatapachaha.
Vritrasura was the essence of the austerities undergone by Twasta, yet the thunderbolt killed him. Indeed, not only he, but also many other stalwart heroes, whose very skin could not be injured even by all kinds of weapons, were killed by the same thunderbolt. So he's thinking, contemplating what is happening here. Text 36.
After drinking nectar.
Yeah. Soyam pratihato vajro
Swayam pratihato vajro
Maya mukto surel pake
Maya mukto surepake
Naham tad adade dandam
Naham tadadade dandam
Brahmate jopi akaranam.
Brahmatejo apyakaranam.
But now, although the same thunderbolt has been released against a less important demon, it has been ineffectual. Therefore, although it was as good as a Brahmastra, it has now become useless like an ordinary rod. I shall therefore hold it no longer. That's the thing with Kshatriyas, They're like so impulsive sometimes.
It doesn't work.
Didn't work, throw it away, get something else. It's
That's a lack of faith, also, isn't it?
it appears like that, but he's openly saying, what is the use of this powerful weapon? He's talking to himself loudly, I guess. I'm sure he'll continue using it. Iti shakram vishidantam
Iti satram vishidantam
ahava asarini
Ahavasarini
asarini
Ashariri.
nayam shuskair ato nardraye
Nayam sushayanato narde
vadam arhati danavaha.
Vadam ardhati danavaha.
Sukadeva Goswami continued, while the morose Indra was lamenting in this way, an ominous, unembodied voice said from the sky, "This demon Namuchi is not to be annihilated by anything dry or moist." This is a cheat code. So basically, the Lord is helping Indra. So he knows what to do. So you have to be intelligent also. It's a clue to killing Namuchi. So it's given a clue how to kill. Without giving him the full answer, otherwise the demons will say, you guys are taking sides, not partial. This war should be partial, neutral. Why are you getting involved? Of course, the Lord will get involved with the demons.
So this
Text.
unembodied voice is like Vishnu's voice or
sky.
somebody's. Okay. But Vishnu is helping indirectly.
Obviously.
Akashvani.
Akash, how is it Akashvani is carrying Akash already? Beyond that space.
Yeah, it's beyond.
But in this particular instance now, this Indra didn't really pray to Krishna or Vishnu.
No,
Like
the Lord came. Remember before
before.
Yeah, he came, he helped them, he revived all of them, and then he left. So make them continue fighting. That's all. So Lord is there. When they turn
Vishnu
to
has to
Him,
help them again and again.
yes, as long as they take shelter of Him, He will come.
So I have one question again here. I'm sorry if I
No, that's okay.
Yeah, Lord understands that Bali Maharaj is a devotee and Indra is also a devotee. Why doesn't he reconcile, just like it happened between Prithu Maharaj and
Because
Indra?
Bali Maharaj has a lot of demonic followers, asuras, who won't accept the position of Narayan. So they're anti the whole concept. They are more into Darwin's theory and so on. So they cannot accept, even if you feel they say it's all myth. Even when the Lord showed so much amazing talent in churning, Prabhupada, they're like,
Just forget.
just not
No.
interested. So they minimize the value of the Lord. So therefore, the Lord will only favor those who look up to Him, who worship Him, who show devotion to Him. Just like a father, right? He has so many children. The one who really takes care of him, he'll show extra affection.
So is it that the Bali Maharaj became centralized after the episode, or
This is
was
a
he
question we are going through every few verses. They'll ask the same question.
He's always
We can see he's not like an ordinary
his words.
demon. He's already realized, but as to how deep, we cannot tell. So later on, you will understand how deep his realization is.
It's only when somebody is tested, then the real glory comes
Yes,
out. So
exactly.
far, he is not really tested.
Not really tested.
I think that's the reason why Krishna didn't even take to reveal the glory of Bali Maharaj.
He wants to do it separately.
Yeah.
This is just a battle, so he didn't want to do it.
But the words he used in the previous verses.
Yes, it is very,
shows
very
he's
advanced.
advanced.
Yeah. Text 38. Mayasmai yadvaro datto
Mayasmai yadvaro datto
Mrityurnaivardra shukshkayo
Mrityurnaivartra shukshkayo
Adonyastantaniyaste
Adonyastantaniyaste
Ayo Magavan Ripo
Upayo Magavan Ripo.
The voice also said, O Indra, because I have given this demon the benediction that he will never be killed by any weapon that is dry or moist, you have to think of another way to kill him. So it seems that it could be one of the demigods, one of the three demigods. It could be Vishnu, Shiva, or Brahma must have given the benediction. But anyway, we can, if you want to do the research, you can do the research, but no need. Text 39. Tam daivim giram akarnya
Tandevim giramakarnya
Magavan susamahitaha
Magavan susamahitaha
Jayam fenam atha pasya
Jayam fenam atha pasya
Mayam ubayatmakam.
Upayam upayatmakam.
After hearing the ominous voice, Indra with great attention began to meditate on how to kill the demon. He then saw that foam would be the means, for it is neither moist nor dry. Right? It has bubbles. So it has air, and then it's almost wet and it's almost dry. It's in between, right? You all have foams, right? So you can feel the foam, then you know what it is. Yeah. No? Get your father's foam shaving. Text 40. Na suskena na chardrena
Nasushena chakrena
Jahara namuche shiraha
Jahara namuche shiraha
Nam tustur muni gana
Param tushtur munigana
Malyas chava kiran vibhum
Malayas chava kiran vibhum.
Thus Indra, king of heaven, severed Namuchi's head with a weapon of foam, which was neither dry nor moist. Then all the sages satisfied Indra, the exalted personality, by showering flowers and garlands upon him, almost covering him. Watery foam, which is neither moist nor dry. So I don't know. Maybe it's like when you put high power, water can cut steel also, no? So in the same way, foams, very high power, I'm just speculating. So that at least you can understand something.
Powered with mantra.
Huh?
Powered with mantra.
Powered with mantra. Yeah. To hold that form.
Balramji
Huh?
Balramji killed with the
Yeah,
Homer Shankar
exactly.
just grass also, so mantra's power.
Right. So amazing, no? Text 41. Gandharva Mukhyo Jagatu Vishwavasu Paravasu Devadundubayo Nedur Takyo Nandritur Mudwa Visvavasu and Paravasu, the two chiefs of the Gandharvas, sang in great happiness. The kettle drums of the demigods sounded and the apsaras danced in jubilation. Just like in football match, right? You got the pom-pom girls, cheerleaders. So even all these are coming from the demigods, same thing, Gandharva singing and then throwing flowers. So same thing you see nowadays in more crude fashion. Text 42. Anyepi evam pratidvandvan Vayuvagni varunadaya Sudayam vasurasuran Virgan kesharino yata Vayu, Agni, Varuna and other demigods began killing the demons who opposed them just as lions kill deer in a forest. Seems like they all got more life after Indra started killing.
Confidence.
Yeah, confidence. Text 43. Brahmana presito devan Devarishi narado nipa Parayamasa vibhutan Svadanava Sangshayam. O king, when Lord Brahma saw the imminent total annihilation of the demons, he sent a message with Narada, who went before the demigods to make them stop fighting. Okay, so Brahma saw that you can fight and win a war, but not genocide. Which was what was going to happen. Text 44. Shri Narada Vacha Bhavadbir Amritam Praptam Narayana Bhujashvai Shriya Samedita Sarva Paramatha Vigraha. Great sage Narada said, all of you demigods are protected by the arms of Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and by His grace you have gotten the nectar. By the grace of the Goddess of Fortune, you are glorious in every way. Therefore, please stop this fighting. Text 45. Shri Shuka Vacha Samyamya Manyu Samrambham Manayanto Munir Vachaha Upadiyamana Charair Yayau Sarve Trivistabam. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, accepting the words of Narada, the demigods gave up their anger and stopped fighting. Being praised by their followers, they returned to their heavenly planet. So one thing you have to give to the demigods, they didn't just pursue and continue killing. As soon as Narada said, they stopped. So they have respect for authorities. So similarly, if we want to get blessings from the senior authorities, we should also just listen what they say. And when they say you're a fool, stop doing this, then we should follow the instruction. We should not keep giving excuses. Well, this person is like that. That person is like that. No, just accept, because mercy is coming. As soon as you accept authority, you are blessed. Yeah.
Just like Prithu Maharaj.
Just like Prithu Maharaj. Text 46. Yeva Shishtarane Tasmin Naradanu Matenate Valim Vippannamadaya Astam Girin Bhagaman. Following the order of Narada Muni, whatever demons remained on the battlefield took Bali Maharaj, who was in a precarious condition, to the hill known as Astagiri. So he's almost dying. Text 46. Tatra vinasta vayavan Vidyamana Shirodaran
Vidyamana Shirodaran
Kushana Jivayam Asa
Kushana Jivayam Asa
Samjivanya Swavidyaya.
Samjivanya Swavidyaya.
There on that hill, Sukracharya brought to life all the dead demoniac soldiers who had not lost their heads, trunks, and limbs. He achieved this by his own mantra known as Sanjeevani. So, as long as the head is intact, and if the body is not severed in half or something, he could bring them to life. So he had this amazing potency. The demigods didn't have that. So later on, the demons keep coming back. The demigods are confused. As these people are not dying. So later on, they will send someone to learn the art also from Sukracharya. Yeah. Text 48. Balischoshana Sasprishta
Balischoshana Sasprishta
Pratyapanendriya Smriti
Pratyapanendriya Smriti
Parajitopi Nakitya
Parajitopi Nakitya
Lokatatva Vichakshanaha.
Lokatatva Vichakshanaha.
Bali Maharaj was very experienced in universal affairs. When he regained his senses and memory by the grace of Sukracharya, he could understand everything that had happened. Therefore, although he had been defeated, he did not lament. See the difference? That's an interesting thing about Bali Maharaj. Even though you can't tell his glories yet, you could see that he is not ordinary. So Prabhupada writes that even that he is very experienced, but he was not sorry. Then he continues, since he was a devotee, he accepted his defeat without lamentation. So there, Prabhupada is giving you the clue that he's a devotee. Only devotees don't lament. So this is also a clue for all of us also. How much do we lament in our lives? The activities you do day to day, how much do you lament? Lament means you think about it on and on and on. If only, if only, if only. You know, maybe I should have said this to him. Maybe I should have done that. No. Let the Lord deal with it. You know. So sometimes each of you will go through this, but have faith in Guru and Krishna and pray sincerely to help them relieve you of this burden in your heart. Then you'll find slowly such thoughts, such focus will go away and positive things will come in your life. Have to have this faith, build up your faith strongly like that. Otherwise, you'll be lamenting for no good reason. Lamentation is the mentality of a Shudra and also a materialist. We are all, devotees, Vaishnavas. So Vaishnavas, we shouldn't lament. When someone dies, you lament for a while, but you cannot continue the lamentation. We are all spirit souls, so we should think like that. Okay? So Prabhupada continues saying that how things are happening due to one's karma. Everyone in Krishna consciousness should execute his duty without regard for victory or defeat. Again, he emphasizes this. Try not to get into lamentation. And again, the verse, Martha's passages to Kunti. One must execute his duty as ordered by Krishna or his representative, the spiritual master, or someone who is in the position of a spiritual master, Siksha Guru also. So ultimately, if you can do that, follow his representative, then it's Anukulyena Krishna, because you're following that which is connected to Krishna. In pure devotion. In first class devotion service, one always abides by the orders and will of Krishna. It comes through Krishna directly if you're qualified, otherwise through higher authority or devotee. So that you have to again build up those kind of consciousness. It's a practice, because we are so conditioned from the way we were growing in our life and from previous life, so much burden you're carrying. So all this will block you from realizing how you have to surrender. Ultimately, the whole idea is to surrender. Surrender in a nice way. All right, so Prabhupada says, that's the end of Bhaktivedanta purports of the 8th canto, 11th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled King Indra Annihilates the Demons. Okay. and they did annihilate the demons. But it's not finished. It's only part 1 or part 2. So this pastime goes quite long until Bali Maharaj pastime. Let's see. Yeah, goes all the way to Vamana Dev coming, and then Bali finally giving up everything, and then up to the end of this canto almost. So it's amazing, huh? So the next chapter is on the Moini mood.
How do you differentiate lamentation and introspection? Because a lot of times, like, we tend to make mistakes, and then we are also thinking very heavily, oh, what could I have done wrong?
Yeah, that is okay. When you introspect, you think about it, you verify that with the devotee. Or you check through scripture. So that is more of an introspection. A lamentation is you are thinking you could fix it. I should have done this. Why I did this? I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should. Tomorrow I'll tell him this thing or that, this, like that. Always trying to fix the thing and then not happy with the situation, worrying about it, hoping for the wrong reasons. It's basically materialistic.
Or even lamenting for losses.
Anything, right? It could be losses. Everything is a loss, right? Lamentation. I should be getting this. Why he is getting? That's also a form of lamentation. Could be envy also mixed in.
Sometimes if you're lamenting, like, oh, I should have not done this stupid mistake, and I should have done something better. You're trying to uplift ourselves.
Okay, but
Sometimes,
again,
like,
you need someone to guide you to not remain in that kind of situation. Sometimes even a devotee, oh, I can't do this properly, I can't serve my guru, and then they lament, but then they won't do anything. So that is wrong. So someone should guide and say, that's okay, you do this, just go in the background and do, your guru will be pleased with you.
Can you think of it this way, like introspection, there is a constructive outcome. Lamentation, actually, there is no constructive outcome.
Okay, that's a good point also. Yeah, you could see that.
Trying to
But my
improve
point
what
is,
we
it
can
should
not
be
do next
connected to Krishna.
Yeah. Krishna should be.
Yeah, if Krishna is not there, the outcome could be positive materially, but for me, that's not right. So I want you to think like how I'm connecting with Krishna. Okay? Yeah. All right. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We'll see you all tomorrow.
7.
7 o'clock.